There are moments in life that rip through the fabric of your existence, leaving an irreparable tear. When the laughter that filled your home is abruptly silenced, and the future you envisioned vanishes in an instant, replaced by an unbearable void. For Clara and Ben, a loving couple with a life defined by joy and shared dreams, that moment arrived with brutal, unforgiving force. A senseless act, a tragedy that stole their most precious gift, plunged them into a darkness so profound, it threatened to consume them entirely. They were left with nothing but the echoing silence of what was, and the crushing weight of a grief no parent should ever know. They faced the unimaginable, navigating a world stripped of its brightest light, living with a pain so acute it felt physical, and enduring a silence that was deafening. The world offered sympathy, but sympathy felt hollow in the face of such profound devastation. They were lost, adrift, each isolated in their own private suffering, convinced that their joy had been extinguished forever, their purpose shattered, beyond repair. It seemed as though hope itself had abandoned them, leaving them in a perpetual, agonizing twilight. But what if, even in the deepest, most unfathomable grief, a tiny seed of defiance can still grow? What if, from the ashes of unbearable pain, a new kind of purpose can emerge, forged in memory and ignited by a fierce, unyielding love? This is the extraordinary, raw, and utterly triumphant story of Clara and Ben. It's a testament to the quiet suffering many endure, the profound courage it takes to confront unimaginable loss, and the remarkable journey of how two souls, united by sorrow, found a way to not just survive, but to honor their pain, transforming it into a powerful, inspiring force that changed countless lives. Prepare to be profoundly moved, because this is a heartfelt chronicle about how they turned their pain into purpose. Clara and Ben's life was a testament to enduring love. They had been high school sweethearts, their bond deepening through college, culminating in a joyful marriage built on mutual respect, shared dreams, and a profound sense of partnership. Clara, a talented photographer, captured the beauty in everyday moments. Ben, a dedicated teacher, inspired young minds with his passion for history. Their greatest masterpiece, however, was their son, Leo, a vibrant, curious, and endlessly energetic 7-year-old. Leo was the center of their universe, filling their home with laughter, innocent questions, and boundless joy. Their days were a harmonious blend of work, family rituals, and shared passions. Weekends were spent at the park, teaching Leo to ride his bicycle, exploring nature trails, or simply curled up on the couch, reading stories. Their home was a haven, filled with Leo's artwork, the aroma of Clara's home-cooked meals, and the comforting chaos of a happy family. They were planning their summer vacation, a trip to the mountains, a place Leo had always dreamed of visiting. Their future stretched out before them, a sunlit path filled with dreams of watching Leo grow, of quiet family moments, of building a lifetime of shared memories. They felt complete, protected, believing that their love, their family, was an unshakable fortress, capable of weathering any storm. Then, in a single horrifying instant, their world shattered. It was a clear, crisp Saturday afternoon. Clara, Ben, and Leo were on their way to the park, just blocks from their home. They were laughing, talking about Leo's latest drawing, when a distracted driver, speeding and weaving through traffic, lost control of his vehicle, swerving directly into their lane. The next thing Clara remembered was chaos, screeching metal, shattering glass, excruciating pain. Then silence, a ringing, terrifying silence. She tried to move, to reach for Ben, for Leo, but her body wouldn't obey. She could only hear the distant wail of sirens and the muffled shouts of people. She was trapped, disoriented, surrounded by the wreckage of their family car, the wreckage of their lives. Clara woke up in a hospital, her body a symphony of pain. Her arm was in a sling, her head throbbed, but her mind was consumed by a single desperate question. Leo. Where was Leo? She tried to speak, to ask Ben, who lay in a bed beside her, his face pale and bruised. But her throat was raw, her voice a mere rasp. A kind nurse, her eyes filled with unspeakable pity, gently explained what had happened. They were both alive, miraculously. But Leo had not survived. He was gone. The bright, vibrant light of their lives extinguished in an instant. The news hit them like a physical blow, worse than any injury. Clara felt a chilling numbness spread through her body, a void so profound it eclipsed all physical pain. Ben squeezed her hand, his own eyes brimming with tears, a silent confirmation of the unimaginable truth. Their beautiful, energetic son, their greatest joy, their entire future, all gone. They were alive, but their world had ended. The days that followed were a blur of unimaginable grief. They lay in their hospital beds, side by side, each trapped in their own private hell, united only by the shared excruciating pain of their loss. They saw social workers, grief counselors, their words of sympathy sounding distant, hollow. They attended Leo's funeral, a small, somber affair, a sea of broken faces, a symphony of unspoken pain. His tiny casket, impossibly small, felt like the ultimate symbol of their profound failure, their inability to protect their most precious gift. They were discharged from the hospital, their bodies slowly healing, but their spirits shattered. Their home, once a haven of warmth and laughter, felt cold, empty, filled only with the deafening silence of Leo's absence. His toys lay untouched in his room. His artwork still adorned the refrigerator, each a searing reminder of the life that had been so cruelly snatched away. Clara would sit in Leo's room for hours, clutching his favorite stuffed animal, burying her face in its soft fur, trying desperately to inhale the lingering scent of his childhood. Ben would walk through the house, touching Leo's things, his shoulders shaking with silent sobs. They were surrounded by well-meaning friends and family, but felt profoundly isolated in their suffering. How could anyone understand a pain so absolute? How could anyone fill a void so profound? Their friends, unsure how to comfort them, slowly distanced themselves, their calls becoming less frequent, their visits shorter. Clara and Ben didn't blame them. Their grief was heavy, suffocating, too much for others to bear. They lost their appetite, their sleep, their will to engage with the world. Every morning was a battle to simply get out of bed, to perform the basic functions of survival. The laughter of other children, the sight of happy families, the casual joy of everyday life, all of it was a searing reminder of what they had lost, a cruel mockery of their bleak reality. The legal process against the distracted driver was agonizing, bringing little solace, only prolonging their torment. Justice felt hollow in the face of such an irreplaceable loss. They felt immense guilt, a crushing burden that they had survived, while Leo had not. Why them? Why had fate been so cruel? The weight of what-ifs consumed them, replaying the moments leading up to the accident, searching for a sign, a missed turn, anything that could have changed the outcome. They were living in a perpetual twilight, convinced that their joy had been extinguished forever, their purpose shattered beyond repair. They believed their story was over, their chapter closed, a grim tale of unimaginable loss. They truly believed they had nothing left to live for. Months bled into a year, then 2. Clara and Ben remained lost in their grief, living in a quiet apartment devoid of the vibrant energy that once defined their home. They tried to go back to their old routines, but everything felt hollow. Clara would walk by the park where Leo used to play, her heart aching with a profound emptiness. Ben would visit his old classroom, unable to teach, haunted by the memory of Leo's bright, curious face. They were surviving, but not living. Their pain was a constant, suffocating companion. One afternoon, Clara was volunteering at a local community art center, a place she had once loved. She was helping to organize old art supplies, a mundane task that required little thought. She picked up a box of colorful crayons, and a specific shade of bright, sunny yellow caught her eye. It was Leo's favorite color. He had loved to draw. With it, filling his drawings with bright suns and happy faces. A wave of intense grief washed over her, bringing fresh tears to her eyes. The pain was still raw, still overwhelming. She sat down, clutching the crayon, overwhelmed by the memory. A small boy, no older than Leo, quietly approached her. He held out a piece of paper, a drawing of a lopsided house with a bright yellow sun. He looked at her, his eyes wide with innocent concern. "Are you sad?" he whispered, his voice timid. "My mommy says drawing sunshine makes sad people happy." He then handed her the yellow crayon. "Here, draw sunshine." Clara stared at the crayon, then at the little boy's earnest face. He saw her pain and offered the simplest, purest form of comfort he knew. It wasn't pity. It was genuine, innocent compassion. For the first time in what felt like forever, a tiny, fragile crack appeared in the wall of her grief. She saw Leo. In his eyes, felt the warmth of his innocent gesture. A faint, almost imperceptible tremor of hope stirred within her. She took the crayon. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice hoarse. She didn't draw. She just held the crayon, feeling its warmth, its connection to a brighter past, a potential future. The little boy smiled, a pure, innocent smile, then skipped away, leaving Clara alone on the bench. Clutching the yellow crayon, her entire world subtly, irrevocably shifted. The silence was no longer deafening. It was filled with the faint echo of a child's simple wisdom and the vibrant warmth of a single yellow crayon. Clara went home that day and showed Ben the crayon. She told him about the little boy. Ben, his face etched with familiar despair, listened quietly. Then, for the first time in a very long time, a flicker of something new crossed his face. Not joy, but a fragile understanding. "Sunshine," he murmured. Leo loved sunshine. It was a small moment, seemingly insignificant, but it planted a seed. A seed not of forgetting Leo, but of honoring him. A seed of turning their unbearable pain into something, anything, meaningful. They realized that living in perpetual grief was not what Leo would have wanted. He had been pure joy, pure light, and his memory deserved to be a source of light, not darkness. The immense challenge remained, but now a fragile, shared purpose began to form, a desperate yearning to find meaning in their profound loss. They knew it would be agonizingly difficult, but the alternative, endless, consuming despair, was no longer an option. Clara and Ben's decision to turn their pain into purpose was a slow, agonizing process, not a sudden revelation. It began with that yellow crayon, with Leo's memory. They knew they wanted to honor his joyful spirit, to create something positive from the immense void he left behind. But how? How do you channel such profound grief into constructive action? They were still consumed by their sorrow, but now a fragile sense of mission began to guide them, a desperate yearning for meaning. Their first idea was simple: build a small, bright yellow playground in a local park in Leo's memory. It seemed like a tangible way to remember his laughter, to bring joy to other children. They researched park regulations, sought permits, and started a small online fundraiser. They faced immense challenges. Bureaucracy was frustrating. Fundraising was slow, often disheartening. There were moments when the sheer scale of the task, combined with their lingering grief, felt overwhelming. They would sit together, exhausted, surrounded by paperwork, wondering if they were truly capable of this. During this process, They met other parents who had lost children, not necessarily to accidents, but to illness, to various tragedies. They shared their stories, their grief, their struggles to find purpose after loss. Clara and Ben realized they weren't alone in this unique kind of suffering. They heard echoes of their own pain, but also saw incredible resilience, quiet strength. In diverse ways, people honored their lost loved ones. This shared vulnerability, this unexpected community, became a crucial source of strength for them. It validated their pain, but also showed them that purpose could indeed be found even in the deepest despair. Their initial plan for a single playground began to evolve. Through their interactions with other grieving families, they realized this need was far greater than just a playground. Many parents struggled with the financial burden of unexpected loss, with finding support groups, with navigating the complex aftermath of tragedy. Clara, drawing on her photography skills, began documenting these stories, capturing the raw grief, but also the quiet strength of these families. Ben, with his teaching background, started compiling resources, creating accessible guides for grieving parents. They were finding a new way to utilize their skills, not for profit, but for profound purpose. Their modest playground project slowly transformed into a larger initiative, Leo's Light Foundation. Its mission was to bring light into the lives of families experiencing child loss by providing emotional, practical, and financial support, and by creating vibrant, joyful spaces in memory of lost children. It was a daunting undertaking, a complete pivot from their previous lives. They were learning about nonprofit management, grant writing, and community outreach, a steep learning curve for a photographer and a teacher. But they were driven by a fierce, unyielding purpose: to turn their unbearable pain into a beacon of hope for others. They faced skepticism. Some people, even well-meaning friends, questioned their focus on grief, their decision to constantly revisit their pain. "Aren't you just hurting yourselves more?" they would ask. But Clara and Ben knew that suppressing their grief wasn't an option. Their pain was a part of them. Their purpose was to transform it, not ignore it. They understood that their greatest tragedy, their deepest wound, was also their most powerful source of empathy, their unique qualification to help others navigate similar darkness. They were learning to build not just a foundation, but a legacy, brick by painstaking brick, fueled by Leo's memory and a profound desire to ensure no other family felt as alone as they once did. Leo's Light Foundation slowly gained momentum, fueled by Clara and Ben's tireless dedication and the profound resonance of their mission. They operated from their small apartment at first, countless evenings spent on phone calls, writing grants, and organizing events. Their initial goal was modest: help a few families navigate the immediate aftermath of child loss. But the need was immense, and their compassion boundless. Word spread through support networks, through hospitals, through communities shattered by similar tragedies. Families reached out from across the country, desperate for the unique blend of empathy and practical support that Clara and Ben offered. Clara, with her photographer's eye, began capturing the stories of the families they helped, not just their grief, but their resilience, their courage, their unique ways of honoring their lost children. These powerful photo essays, shared on the Foundation's website and social media, brought tears to countless eyes and opened hearts to their mission. Ben, with his teacher's gift for clarity, developed comprehensive resource guides, connecting grieving parents with therapists, financial aid, and legal advice. He organized virtual support groups, creating a safe space for parents to share their pain, knowing they were truly seen and understood. Running the Foundation was immensely challenging. They faced bureaucratic hurdles, fundraising exhaustion, and the emotional toll of constantly immersing themselves in grief. There were days when the weight of it all, the sheer scale of suffering they encountered, threatened to overwhelm them. They would lean on each other, their shared purpose strengthening their bond, reminding them of Leo, of the light he brought, and the legacy they were building in his name. They learned to set boundaries, to practice self-care, understanding that to help others, they first had to protect their own healing. But amidst the challenges, there was profound healing. Each time a family found solace through their foundation, each time a parent shared a breakthrough in their grief journey, each time a memorial space was created in a child's honor, Clara and Ben felt a warmth spread through them. Their own pain, though never fully gone, transformed into a profound source of empathy, a unique qualification to offer genuine comfort. They realized that in helping others navigate their darkest moments, they were also helping themselves climb out of their own abyss. Their shared grief, once a source of isolation, had become their most powerful tool for connection and change. They discovered a new kind of joy, not the carefree laughter of their past, but a deeper, more meaningful contentment rooted in purpose. Clara found healing in her photography, capturing not just beauty, but resilience, the raw strength of the human spirit. Ben found solace in his mentorship, guiding other grieving parents through the bewildering landscape of loss. Their efforts brought them into contact with remarkable individuals, dedicated therapists, compassionate social workers, and other parents who, like them, had turned their pain into a powerful force for good. These connections formed a new community, a vibrant network of support and shared purpose that enriched their lives immensely. Their marriage, once strained by the overwhelming grief, now stood stronger than ever, forged in the crucible of shared adversity and unwavering purpose. They learned to communicate their deepest fears, to support each other's unique grieving processes, and to celebrate every small victory, every life touched by Leo's light. Their home, once haunted by silence, was now often filled with the gentle hum of foundation work, the quiet chatter of volunteers, and the powerful testimonies of healing. They were not just rebuilding their lives. They were reshaping their very identities, transforming their deepest pain into their greatest strength. Years later, Leo's light foundation grew far beyond Clara and Ben's wildest dreams. What began as a desperate attempt to channel their grief transformed into a nationally recognized organization, a beacon of hope for thousands of families grappling with the unimaginable loss of a child. Their modest home office expanded into a dedicated center, staffed by compassionate professionals and volunteers, all inspired by Leo's memory and his parents' unwavering courage. Clara and Ben became global advocates, their powerful testimony shared on international stages. They spoke of the raw, agonizing truth of child loss, but always, they emphasized the possibility of healing, the profound human capacity to find purpose amidst the ashes of despair. They taught the world that grief, when embraced and transformed, could become the most powerful catalyst for change, a unique empathy that allowed them to connect with suffering on a level few others could. They established vibrant memorial gardens and playgrounds in communities across the country, each one a testament to a lost child, a place of peace and remembrance, and a symbol of renewed hope. These spaces were filled with the laughter of children, a living, breathing echo of the joy that had once defined Leo's life. Their foundation provided comprehensive support, financial aid for funeral costs, grief counseling, peer support, networks, and legal advocacy for other families caught in similar tragedies. They ensured that no parent had to walk the path of profound loss alone, that every child's memory could shine as a guiding light. Clara's photography, once a means of personal expression, evolved into a powerful tool for advocacy, capturing the resilience and raw beauty of grieving families, making their invisible struggles visible. Ben's teaching background transformed into a unique talent for community building, for creating compassionate networks, for guiding others through their darkest hours. They had not replaced Leo. They had honored him in a way that transcended. His physical presence, extending his light into the lives of countless others. Their marriage, once strained to the breaking point by shared sorrow, now stood as an unbreakable testament to enduring love, forgiveness, and unwavering shared purpose. They understood that their greatest tragedy had forged their greatest strength, teaching them what truly mattered in life: connection, empathy, and the profound act of lifting others up. Their pain was a constant presence, a scar on their hearts, but it was no longer a source of despair. It was the very wellspring of their purpose, the fuel for their relentless mission to bring light to those lost in darkness. The story of Clara and Ben is a powerful reminder that even after the most devastating losses, the human spirit possesses an extraordinary capacity for resilience, for rebuilding, and for finding profound meaning in the face of unimaginable pain. It shows us that grief, when acknowledged and transformed, can become a fierce, beautiful force for good, a legacy of love that continues to give long after the sorrow has settled. Their journey proves that when you bravely confront your deepest wounds, when you choose to honor what was lost by giving to others, you don't just heal yourselves. You become a beacon, transforming your pain into purpose and inspiring a world to believe in the enduring power of hope and the boundless compassion of the human heart. If Clara and Ben's incredible story of they turned their pain into purpose touched your heart, if it reignited a spark of resilience or reminded you of the profound power of finding meaning after loss, please take a moment to like this video. Your likes help us share these powerful true stories of transformation and hope with more people who need to hear them. And if you're moved by true tales of the human spirit, extraordinary courage, and life's beautiful transformations, be sure to subscribe to Heartfelt Chronicles. We bring you inspiring stories every week that remind us that even from the deepest pain, profound purpose can emerge. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another journey with us. Have you or someone you know turned a profound personal pain into a powerful purpose? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Let's celebrate the courageous individuals who transform their suffering into strength for others. Thank you for watching. And remember, your pain, when honored with purpose, can become your greatest legacy. See you in the next video.